Okay, finally got my sound sorted out. So this is the second screencast, just looking at the way that renewals might work in the new release. So a few new menu items have appeared. Each institution that you are affiliated with now has these two options: generate renewals worksheet and import renewals. And if we click on that, you'll see this is left over from my testing previously. So I'll just click clear basket. This is the screen that allows you to select different subscriptions to compare. We're not going to go take this particular route into this though. From the front page, I've got some memberships of test institutions. This is my test database. It's full of very random data, which is quite a long way removed from the live system now. But I've got one of my subscriptions, Westminster, and again, this is mostly test data, so try not to pay too much attention to the actual data that I'm using here. Ideally, I'd have the 2012-2013 subscriptions loaded, and I don't, so I'm working off the 11-12 data still in this particular system. So you'll have to make a little bit of an allowance that the data's not ideal, but hopefully you'll get an idea for the functionality that will let you form some opinions and maybe give some feedback. So this is the standard current subscriptions screen, and so if you see, I've got one here, Nature Publishing. So if I click on this, this is the standard subscription details page. A few changes in this release, so the details are automatically expanded, and the org links formatting has changed a little bit, so it might not be exactly as you remember it, but this is the subscription details page. A new pill has appeared called renewals. If I click on that, it doesn't do a great deal other than give us this sentence, which basically gives us a route back to this page, but with the subscription we're looking to renew already added to the basket, so it kind of sets us up for this process. And the idea is that you will then use this particular form to search through all the current subscriptions offered, and obviously when we load the 2012-13 data, you'll see the right things in here. I just search for nature now, so you'll see there are these two. I'm going to add both of these to my basket, and I might go through and use different filters to try and isolate which particular packages I think are good candidates for my renewal. Once I'm happy with the basket, or not even once I'm happy, once I'm ready to have a go, this is a process that can be repeated, so it's not a one-time only thing. You can generate the sheet, go back, reload something else, and regenerate. When I click generate comparison sheet, it's automatically created this comparison.xls for me, which I can click on. Obviously when you click on it, you'll open Excel. I happen to be opening in OpenOffice. So what's happened is I've had a spreadsheet generated for me which consists of the subscription I'm looking to renew, and then everything that I put in my shopping basket has been listed in a new column. So here are the two extra subscriptions I'm comparing against. If I'd added more, then more columns would have appeared, and the idea here is that this is my current subscription. The green background indicates that that's an item which is in the current subscription. If they were marked as core titles, they'd have a yellow background like this. And the idea here is that you can get quite a quick feel for what overlap there is between the subscription you're trying to renew and the candidate subscriptions offered. So you could just scroll along, and obviously wherever these two top cells are green, so that's European Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Nature, you know that those titles are available in the particular package that's offered. So actually, for this particular case, the only choice I've got is this subscription, and it's inevitable actually, because of course in practice this subscription taken is actually derived from this subscription offered. So in a real world you'd have our 2012 deal here, and then we'd have our 13-14 file over here. So it's not quite right in terms of the data, but if you could focus on the functionality, that would be useful. So the way that we create a new subscription taken is we might decide that we wanted to go back, close this down, go back, add some other things to the basket, and regenerate. So we can go around this loop a few times. But when I think I've got a good match, the way that I create a new subscription is by simply adding a Y to the cells in this column, and that would indicate that I want that item to be in this subscription. So in order to replicate this subscription, we'd just say yes, yes in these two, and then we'd save it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, just to demonstrate a few other bits and pieces, I'm going to add some extra titles to this subscription. And well, I'll tell you what, I'll save it now. So the idea would be, let's recreate this subscription. So I go back to my app, and under Manage I say Import Renewals. There I choose my comparison sheet that I've just edited, and I click Upload, and what I get back is some information about this particular file that I've imported. And you can see, because I've got Y and Y, Nature and the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and there they are, no other details. Once we've actually loaded this, you'll be able to use the standard editing subscription page, and these details are all taken from the particular subscription offered that this column has been derived from. So that's okay, but supposing that we want to add some other titles in the new one, so I'm going to take American Journal of Hypertension. Now, one of the things that we want to be able to do is to set whether something's core. So there's a little sort of domain-specific language here. A Y on its own means that the item should be in the subscription going forward, but you can semicolon and then you can say Y, and that will set the core status for a title. So what I'm doing here is American Journal of Hypertension will be in there and will have its core flag set to yes. And what I'll do is also take the British Journal of Cancer and say yes, I want it in the subscription, yes, I want it to be a core title. And in this release we've allowed you to set start and end dates for the core status, so the date on which something became core. So here I'll say 01/01/2013, and if I wanted to also set an end date, I could say 01/01/2014. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah, you can do that. And let's just set a core start date for cell research, so 01/01/2013. So I can put my dashes in there. 01/01/2013. Good. So I'll save that, and basically just repeat this process. Choose file, choose the same file, click the upload button, and you can see it's now loaded those new cells that I've edited. And supposing I wanted to go back and make European Journal of Clinical Nutrition actually core as well, I could just say yes, yes, save that, choose file, upload, and then you can see this has changed to a Y. So I can repeat this process. Nothing permanent has been done. This is just the system ingesting your Excel file, making sure there are no errors, and then interpreting it and echoing back to you what it thinks you want to do. And then once you're happy with that, you click on Accept and Process, and it'll download it, add it to the database, and then redirect you to the actual subscription taken that it's generated. So this is now a subscription taken in the same way that all our others are. That is what we're proposing for the renewals process. So now feedback would be most welcome on this now, because I think we're at a point where it's ready to have a play with and to give us some ideas on how we can